So we are here with a very interesting journal, and we are diving into the data, and the user asked us to take a look at his performance and provide some tips on what he could change. So Moritz, when we look at here the overall performance, what do you think?
Yeah, classic break-even trader, I would say, with the win rate around 45, 50%, the small risk-reward ratio that we always see with every losing trader and every break-even trader that we have seen so far has a very small risk-reward ratio. Yeah, and the profit factor and Edgewonk score show that as well, that he's basically just breaking even.
What we see when we go to the multiple, he's shooting for 1.5 R on average on his trades. But yeah, his average winner is 0.87, and the loss is also here. So his average reward risk ratio that he's going for is not too bad, but he's cutting his trades early. So that's definitely something that we can take a look at. The next thing, what we do is we go to the holding time to see what type of trader is he. He is typically a day trader. Most of his trades he's holding under a day. And then we can, as always, go to the performance by time. And we see this once again. It's it's not a surprise anymore. It's still always it's interesting to see that. But yeah, we see this time and again where the most of the performance is clustered around a very well-defined time window. And once again, here is most of his performance is coming here from those 3 hours. Probably an open.
Yeah. Looks like the classic maybe New York Open or London Open. We don't know what time zone this is here, but it's very likely a session open. And yeah, this pattern is just so obvious because people that trade 24/7 around the clock, they don't have time to actually improve their trading. And then they just get stuck in this limbo of taking trades all day long, probably exhausted in the evening, frustrated, coming back the next day, doing the same thing again, not improving at all because there's no time to reflect. So, rough.
Yeah, so it's not only about the cluster here, as you said, but also you have pretty much bars which indicate trades around the clock from the morning to the night. And that's typically also not something that is ideal. Usually you trade for a few hours and then use the time to refresh, work on your data, work on your journaling, do the market prep, and not trade around the clock. So that's definitely something that the trader should look into to improve his overall routine and also the way he feels about his trading.
Yes.
Let's go to setups, because here we see an interesting pattern as well. He has 11 setups, which is already quite a bit, especially for traders who are not profitable yet and who are struggling overall. It's probably too much. We see that time and again as well with traders who are struggling. They have just way too many setups, and a lot of the profitable traders that we review here have 2, 3 setups the most. So there are 2 setups that really stand out here, Hammer and Shooting Star. Maybe even this one, Bearish Engulfing. They all have a half decent sample size. Of course, 9 trades, 13 and 10 is not the greatest, but I think it's just it's enough to say maybe cut those for now, because it will have a spillover effect into everything else in your trading. What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily cut the bearish engulfing because the bullish engulfing performs really well for him right now. So I think that's probably just down to sample size. But the shooting star has to go, and the hammer too. I mean, basically it's the same. It's a pin bar, right? A hammer is a bearish pin bar, I think, or a bullish pin bar, and a shooting star is vice versa. So just cut that candle pattern out of your trading instantly, and that will show a nice boost to your bottom line. Yeah.
Yeah, and now we come to probably the most interesting thing that we found, and the thing that could 10x his performance, which is here. We go to trade comments and then we look at the entries. Yeah, and what we see here is he has a he has a trade comment for his entries, and he tags his trades that are random, so outside of the trading rules, 20 trades. Only 2 of them are winners, 16 losses. And what we see here is a 4,000 US dollar loss, which is when we go back and we see overall his net return is 400. That could change his trading significantly.
Yeah, 10x your profits with one simple, well, it's not simple because traders always know what they must do, but they don't do it. But just the simple fix is not to take any random trades anymore, and suddenly you are a highly profitable trader. Quite interesting.
Yeah, it's not an easy fix, but I think also once you realize how much of a performance impact this could have, when you become a little bit more focused, could lead to behavioral change. And also, my assumption would be that if he reduces the amount of setups, reduces his trading times that he is trading, he would probably feel overall better, not be in front of the screen all day and really only focus on what is working. What we did here to just see the impact. So this is his equity curve at the moment with all of his trades. What you can do is here at the top, use the include exclude filter. And then we want to see his performance without those random trades. So we go to random trade, and now it excluded because we ticked the box here. And this is how it could look like without the random trades. We're filtering out 20 of those trades. Win rate is going up 10%, 45 to 55. But of course, it looks completely different. We go from a 400 return to a 4,400 US dollar return, which is just, an insane improvement here.
Yeah. I mean, the profit factor going up to 1.7. Anything above 2 is already really world class. So you're very close to having a good performance, a very good performance here. And obviously you're profitable. Quite shocking, to say the least.
Yeah, trade management shows a little bit of more potential. Potential is above the actual performance. There's a little bit room here, but not too much. There's only a 3R difference. I think in the future the trader could work on trying to get bigger winners out, but I don't think it's the main concern at the moment. It's not where he's going to see his biggest improvements.
Can you go to performance by setup again, please? Okay.
Here's
That
the
is
bearish
interesting.
engulf. Yeah. Now suddenly it's slightly profitable, break even.
Yeah, because the shooting star is still underperforming, but the hammer, which is the bullish pin bar, suddenly, I mean, small sample size, but suddenly starts performing.
Yeah.
Also a good insight that maybe it's not the setup that doesn't work, it's the trader just taking random pin bars all over the place. So either you have to stop trading those setups if you can't discipline yourself, because you can find hammers and pin bars all over the charts, right? All the time. So either you need to discipline yourself or you say, okay, I'm not disciplined enough to trade this particular setup and cut it out.
Also, I think reducing the trading times would probably have a big impact on overall trading quality as well. So yeah, I think it's a tough call. Definitely shooting star is probably something he can get rid of. Mean reversion. And I think in the beginning, the point here is just to streamline the process and reduce a lot of noise and make it easier on your routine as well. Because as I said, it's going to have a lot of spillover effects.
Is this trader using sessions or did he take notes?
No sessions, but he has notes, I think. Yeah, when we go to this trades, you can see some notes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think taking notes is for individual trades is super important, but a lot of traders, okay, they write the note into the trade and then they never look at it again. So that would then be where the sessions come into play, where you have to start improving. And I think if this trader, for example, had made better use of the session feature, he would have noticed way earlier that taking random trades is destroying his performance, because I don't see any reflection or insight here that points to that.
Yeah, I think there's some in the notebook, but I don't want to pull up the notebook because the notes are, I think just individual and personal. But what he could do is just a very quick review, come to the sessions at the end of the week or on the weekend, or at least every 2 weeks maybe, But if you reduce your trading times, you should have time to do it once a week. You go here, you select a period. Let's say we want to do a session for this week. We select Monday through Friday. Edgewonk pull in the trades, show you the tilt meter, some performance stats. And then here you can write down your thoughts, your review ideas, maybe find out or identify one thing that didn't go well, one thing that you want to improve on. And then over time, you can build a nice catalog of your weekly reviews, which help you reflect on what is going on in your trading.
Yeah. So to summarize, I would say, yeah, A, trade fewer hours. B, trade fewer setups. C, stop taking random trades. And then you're well on your way to actually making money. And then the next step would, as always, be to go into the alternative strategies and see whether there's any potential for you to increase your risk reward. And then you're a profitable trader, and then it's just rinse and repeat.
Yep, nothing to add here. I think the path is very clear. Those are the lowest hanging fruits. I think where you're going to see the biggest improvement. You can always get into the nitty gritty afterwards, but this is definitely something you need to fix in order to have a trading career built on a solid foundation.